What's good looking people? My name is Jess and welcome back to my channel. As you guys have read from the title, I will be going through 23 questions that I have learned in 23 years. So I have written down on a sheet of paper 23 questions that I think will help a lot of people who are 23 years old. Number one, be kind always. It's more important to be kind than to be right. What that means is that, yes, kindness goes a long way, but it's better for you to show enough kindness than to always feel like you have to be right when you're in a conversation with someone, because there's always going to be some sort of conflict and you don't want to always feel like you have to be right in every situation when you can just be kind and show that kindness towards that person instead of feeling like you have to be right all the time. Number two, hard work beats talent. When talent doesn't put in the effort, hard work can surpass it. Basically, what that means is that if you put in enough hard work, it shows when you go and you do your talent. You know what I mean? People see the hard work that you put in through that talent, and people enjoy it a little bit more. When the talent doesn't put in the effort, hard work can surpass it. Meaning that if you don't put as much hard work into your talent, then your hard work will be over um, that, and it won't show as much. Like when you go and you do something, you don't want people to see that you didn't put as much hard work into your talent or into whatever it is that you're working towards. You don't want to make it seem like you didn't put as much effort into it. You want to show people that I put as much effort as I can or that I could into something, and it shows at the end. Question number three, see commitment through. Don't start things you can't finish. Meaning that if you start something, find a way to do what you can to finish what you started. Don't just go and start something and be like, oh yeah, I'll get back to it, whatever. No. Just when you go and you do whatever that may be, you have to do what you can to get that done, basically. Question four, consistency is key. Focus on steady progress rather than aiming for perfection. Meaning that depending on what it is that you are working on, like for me personally, if you're talking about like anything, whether it's like music, dance, etc., whatever that may be, consistency is key. So you might go with like a posting schedule if you do something like that, or like maybe in um your normal everyday life, you might decide, okay, what can I do to be consistent in this area, and go with that. Um, Try to focus on steady progress rather than aiming for perfection, meaning that nothing that you do in life has to be perfect, because no one's looking for perfection or something that is perfect. And if you're aiming for something like that, then it's going to come across as, oh, you're trying to be fake or something like that. Like you don't want people to see you as someone that is fake more than you just, because I feel like when people try to be, perfect in whatever it is that they're trying to be consistent in, that it can come across as, fake and not being, their real, raw, true, authentic self. So I feel like it's better for you to find that, that happy medium wherever that may be. Question 5. Empathy is crucial. Try to understand situations from other people's perspective. Now that is good. Having empathy is good. I wouldn't say that it's crucial. I think it depends on the situation that you're dealing with, because if you're not always around other people all the time, you might not, show as much empathy towards other people as much. But if you are around other people a lot all the time, it is good, depending on the situation, to show empathy and to show that person, yes, I do care and all that stuff, but not to feel like you don't have to show that, I guess, if you know what I mean. It's good to understand other people's perspectives and where other people are coming from, but at the same time to understand that yes, we all do have our own morals and values and all that stuff. So you want to understand, yes, other people's perspectives, but also if you were in their shoe, like how would they see you and stuff. So you want to kind of like see it both ways, if you know what I mean. Question 6. Don't judge appearances. Reserve judgment until you understand someone's full story. What that means is that we don't know everyone's story. We don't know their background or their history or what happened before they came into your life. So a lot of times we judge people based off of what they look like on the outside, and we don't take the time to really sit down with them and have these conversations about who they really are outside of what we see on the outside and all of that. So when you sit down with someone and you actually get to know them and to know their story, you start to realize that there's more to that person than just what we saw on the outside, or what they, you know what I mean. There's more that they can bring to the table, but we just would never have known that if we didn't take that time to really understand, this person fully, and their story and what they have to to give. And so that's why it's good to not judge them right off the bat and say, oh, you're a bad person, oh, you're this, you're that. Like, you don't know who someone is, or or what they're capable of, until you sit down with them and have these conversations and be able to understand their side of things, just like you would want them to understand yours. So question number 7. Respect opinions even if you disagree. Everyone is entitled to their own views. What that means is that everyone has their own ideas and their own ways of doing, certain things. Because yes, we are all different, but we all are humans, and we all want to be loved and liked by so many, and we want people to, see us for who we are and what we're bringing to the table. And when we have certain things that we are like our opinions, yes, they do matter, but they matter to us, not so much to everyone else that's around us, because everyone else, they could either care or not care, and so like you can't force that upon them. But everyone has their own opinions on pretty much everything, and that's just how we are as humans. And but you just have to understand that when everyone is entitled to their own opinions, and if it doesn't like agree to what you're talking about, at least it works out for them, you know what I mean. So question 8. Seek accountability. Surround yourself with people who encourage growth. What that means is that it's good to get accountability, or to have accountability, to have people that you can count on, from time to time, and go to them for certain things, and to be able to be surrounded by people that are able to encourage you and lift you up in that time, like whether it's a need or just as a friend or whatever. Question 9: set clear goals, define your objectives, and work toward them. So basically, it's good to set goals, whatever those goals are. You don't want it to be bad goals, but you want it to be goals that make sense to you, that will help you to move forward in whatever it is that you're trying to move forward in, and also to be able to define your objectives and work towards them, meaning that you're able to find, like, basically what I'm saying is, like, sit down with yourself and figure out what your goals are, and try to set, good, healthy goals, whatever that may look like for you, and try to go towards those goals. And if something happens along the way, change it. But don't change it because somebody else wants to change it. Change it because you want to change it. So, like, if there's a goal that you have in mind, try to go and work towards that goal until it becomes something that you might have to change, later on down the line. But for now, just, work towards that goal until you have to find another goal, and then work towards that goal again, and before you have to find another goal. Question 10: hold yourself responsible, take ownership of your own actions and decisions. Basically, whatever decision that you make, be responsible when it comes to that. Hold yourself to a higher standard. Know where you stand, and know that other people will judge you and say things about that situation. But just know that you are holding yourself responsible and accountable to those actions, whatever that may be. And you have to take ownership of it. And it's not just being responsible, but it's also understanding your actions do have consequences, just like your decisions, like whatever you decide to do or say also has consequences, whether it's good or bad. Question 11: don't lower standards, improve patience. Be patient with yourself and others as you strive for improvement. Basically, what that means is, don't rush yourself when you don't want to be rushed. Basically, understand where you are in your growth and your development, and to understand that we're all improving, we're all growing, we're all learning, and you have to just be patient and in your growth and your learning, and to know that if other people don't want to be patient with you, then you have to be patient with yourself, because no one else around you is going to do that for you. You have to be willing to give yourself that ability to improve and to be patient with yourself. And then when you're able to do that within yourself, you can now go out and do that with others, and to be patient, and to give yourself that ability to understand others, because you've allowed yourself to understand yourself. Because if you want other people to understand you, they have to do that within themselves, or else they're not going to be willing to do that with you. And so, allowing yourself to improve those patients and not to hold lower standards is really important. And being patient with yourself helps you to be patient with other people. as you strive to improve in different areas, and when you are doing whatever these areas may be, as long as you know what these things are, it helps you when you go into situations with others. Question 12. Be at peace. Inner peace is more valuable than popularity. Basically, what this means is that everything that we are searching for or gaining, like popularity, that is a temporary thing. And a lot of people don't realize that because, in the moment it seems, very permanent, but in the long run, it is a very temporary thing, and that's something that a lot of people, push themselves towards, um, to be in that position of, oh, I want to be popular, I want so many people to like me, all this stuff. And it's like, yes, that's cool and all, but that's not the end goal here. Inner peace means you have to know what that is like, and to understand what that feels like to have that inner peace within yourself. Because once you know what that is, then you can be able to do that with other people and have peace with other people instead of going around fighting and figuring out a way to create more chaos and drama and all that stuff. Because no one wants chaos, no one wants drama, but a lot of times it's there because people don't know what that's like to have peace within themselves before they can have that with others. And so when they get with other people, they cause chaos and drama because they don't know what it's like to have peace. They didn't sit down with themselves to to have that conversation and discussion about what it's like to be at peace with yourself and with other people. And that's more valuable than trying to chase this whole popularity thing, and it's more permanent, I feel like. Question 13. Comparison is a thief of joy. Avoid comparing yourself to others as it can lead to discontent. What that means is that if you're always comparing yourself to other people because you're always like wondering why everyone else is doing this, doing that, saying this, saying that, always going to the most, like luxurious places, and you're not, well, you don't want to be in that situation where you're always comparing yourself to other people that are having like the life that you want to have. Because if you think about it, everybody's looking at you and they want to have the life that you're living, but instead of you enjoying the life that you have, you're always comparing yourself to other people because you want this, you want to do that, you want to go here, you want to go there. But it's like everybody wants to have what you have too, and they're probably comparing themselves to you as well and seeing, oh, I want to have, the glowy skin. I want, to go to all the luxurious locations, fancy trips, whatever that may be, have the best bags and clothes, etc. If you get you get the gist, but that's just, you looking at someone else and comparing yourself to them, because in your mind you don't enjoy what you have, and that robs you of the joy that you have in yourself and the life that you're trying to live out, because you're not allowing yourself to just be joyful and happy with what you have and what your goals and your ambitions are. And instead of you just allowing yourself to enjoy that, you're comparing yourself to everyone else because you don't want the life that you have because you feel like it's not everybody else's life. But the problem is that everybody else is living a life that isn't so realistic, if you know what I mean. Like all these famous people, right? They're living a life that everybody else would love to live, but it's not super realistic if you think about it because it's not a normal life. But it's still the life that they didn't choose to live, but at least they're living the life that everybody else would love to live. But if you think about it, it's still comparison. It's still you're still comparing yourself to others because you want to live in a life that um isn't so realistic. And so just enjoy the life that you have and just be joyful and happy within that and not in somebody else's, basically. Question 14. Honesty builds trust. Be truthful in your dealings with others. Basically, what that means is in order for you to be honest with other people, you have to be honest with yourself. You have to know what that's like to build trust within yourself, because in order for you to do that with other people, you have to know what it's like to do that with yourself. And if you can't do that with yourself, or if you don't know what that's like to do that with yourself, then don't do that with other people. Don't try to build honesty and trust with other people if you don't know what that is or what that looks like with yourself. And so you have to know, okay, if I'm going to be honest and truthful and open about whatever it is that I want to discuss with someone else, you have to know, how can I do that within me? How can I, build that honesty, that trust within myself before I can do that with other people? That way, when I do hang out with other people and I have these conversations with other people, at least now I know what it's like to be honest and open and have that trust with other people, because I was able to build that within myself, and now I know what that's like, So just understanding honesty builds trust. Be truthful when you're dealing with others, and don't rush all of that, because it takes time. Okay, time is something that you have to be patient about, and you don't want to rush what you're trying to go out and do. Question 15. Life is short. Live with purpose and love others well. What that means is, yes, life is short, but you want to live the life that is meaningful, then that makes sense, not just to you, but also to others around you when you are interacting with them and having these conversations with them. Live with purpose and love others well, meaning that we all have a purpose of why we are here on this earth, and so you want to live out that purpose, and you also want to go around loving others with kindness, joy, and the peace that brings, with it. And to understand that, yes, life is short, but you want to live that life with the purpose that it brings to others, not just to yourself. But it's good to start with yourself, because if you don't, then it's hard to do that with other people. It's hard to it's hard to bring purpose with others if you're not able to do that within yourself. Question 16. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Curiosity is a sign of intelligence. What that means is that a lot of times sometimes people, it's not like they're afraid to ask questions. It's more the fact that they just, like, when they're going through something, they feel like it's best for them to figure out what it is that they're dealing with before they can go and get that help that they need from someone else, if they do need, that help. And if they do need help, it is good to figure out amongst yourself, like, what are the questions that I should be asking other people? Like, how do I ask them? And who do I go to have these conversations with when it comes to just anything in life, really. And curiosity is a sign of intelligence, which is good because, I think traveling is a good way of having that intelligence, because you're willing to not just travel, but you're also willing to learn about, different cultures, different countries, like how, other people around the world live. And you're able to um, understand, like, how do people make, their dishes, like what interesting about this person's dish versus this person. And just understanding that, means a lot. And like when you're traveling, yes, it's good to ask, questions about certain things, but it depends on the type of questions that you're asking, and whether or not, if, and it's good because it shows that person that you are curious, yes, but you're also learning and growing in that sense. And being able to travel, I feel like, it's like a good way to expand your mind, because being in a classroom all the time, yes, that's good and all, but it doesn't expand your mind as much, I feel like. So when you're able to travel and you're going to other countries and you see how people, live their lives versus how you live yours, you start to have like a better understanding of other people and stuff like that. Question 17. Learn to say no. Protect your time and energy by declining things that don't save you. I'm gonna pause this. Alright, I'm back. Yes, I was at question 17. It said, learn to say no, protect your time and energy by declining things that don't save you. I think it speaks to itself, for itself, because it says learn to say no, meaning that you don't have to always say yes to everything, and you don't have to always say no to everything either. So, just understanding what that means goes a long way. Protect your time and energy by declining things that don't save you. I think that, like I said before, speaks for itself. So if y'all know what that means, you know what to do. Comment. Yeah, so question 18. Embrace solitude. Time alone can be valuable for reflecting and self-discovery. So basically what that means is, like when you have that time by yourself, it's good to reflect and understand where you stand, and to know that your alone time can be valuable, is what it says. Because you're reflecting and you're doing your self-discovery and you're understanding where you are in relation to everyone else, so that when you go out and you have these conversations with other people about whatever, at least you know where you stand when it comes to these things, and you can defend yourself when people say, oh, I think I know this, or I think I know that about you. And you can say to them, no, I did a lot of self whatever, and you can just, tell them, hey, I know myself better than I know anyone else, and you can just, go through that, when you have these conversations, right? So, question 19, take care of your mental health. It's okay to not be okay, and taking help is a sign of strength. And what that means is that your mental state, if it's, mild or not, it's still just as important, and it's good to take a step back and to focus on what really matters and makes sense. so that when you go back out and have these conversations with other people, that you're not just there, with them and lashing out or having, um, or reacting in ways that, doesn't make sense or whatever. So as long as you're able to understand that it's okay to not be okay, means that you don't have to always be around other people and to be okay when you're around them. Because if you know that you're not, you don't have to basically fake it, is what I'm saying. Or to put on a smile just to say that, yeah, I'm good, but just wanted to let you know that I'm not. So basically, seeking that help is a sign of strength, meaning that when you seek help and guidance, it helps you to have that second opinion on things. And then, yeah. Question 20, be present, focus on the moment, and appreciate the now. What that means is be present, meaning that be in the moment that you are in. Focus on that and understand that you don't have to rush what's going on right now. You can just take it one day at a time and go from there. And to know that if you try to rush that experience, that it's not going to go well, basically. Um, Basically, what I'm saying is that if you rush that experience, then you end up missing out on things that are happening now because you didn't allow yourself to be present in it, basically. Question 21. Don't be afraid to fail. Embrace failure as a learning opportunity and never give up. What that means is, I'll see it. Alright, so it says, don't be afraid to fail. What that means is that failure is not a sign of you being weak. Okay? Just want you guys to be that. Being a failure is not a sign of weakness. That's just a sign of you actually learning and showing others that you're actually wanting to understand what's going on. Embrace failure as a learning opportunity and never give up. What that means is that once you understand that yes, I have failed, that's not a sign that you should just give up right then and there. You should continue going in spite of that and to understand that once you have failed at one time, you can learn from that and you can try again and try again and try again. Yeah. Question 22. Question 22. I'm so sorry. Cherished relationships maintained with family and friends. What that means is that in any relationship, friendship or not, make the most of what you have, because when you don't, it will be gone. And yeah, so I think that in itself probably said a whole lot. Basically, make time for the people in your life that are meant to be in your life, that what am I saying? So when you make the time for those people, it allows you to make those strong connections with them, and you see the growth out of it. And then this is the last question, question 23. Learn from everyone, be open to learning from every person you encounter. What that means is that don't be not willing to open yourself up to learning from everyone. Because if you think about it, everyone has their own thing that they bring to the table, and so you have to be open to learning from that. And each person that comes your way, you have to be willing to sit down with them and hear what they have to say, just like they would want to hear from you as well. And to understand that it's okay to be open to hear from them, but to also allow them to be open to hear from you as well. So yeah, I think a lot of these that I went through, I think a lot of them were pretty much self-explanatory. I would say so. So yeah, that's all of the 23 questions. Yeah, all the 23 questions, I wrote them down on a sheet of paper. So that's basically what I was basically looking at, if y'all are wondering. So I have it all written down on here in this little 2-page packet, basically. So yeah, y'all have any questions or anything like that, just comment that down below, and I will do my best to get to you guys. Yes. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a pretty quick. I wouldn't say quick, but a pretty good video. Just going through 23 lessons. So yeah, if y'all have any video suggestions, just put them down below in the comments. I would love to hear them, because why not? So yeah, other than that, I will be signing out. Yes, girl. So yes, I will be signing out. So thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on that post notification. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.